mind and soul, because he knew that he could never be respected until his people were respected. And that's still the case. We can never have individual, personal, separate, private respect until we have that as a group. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew, and he preached to us to have us do what Islam wants us to do. And that is, feel it your personal, private, individual duty and life interest to develop yourself and improve yourself so that the whole is improved. The ultimate aim or the ultimate result or the ultimate reward is not for me as an individual. It is for me as a member in a group. Now, if Muslims all over the world would respond to that, would be conscious of that obligation on Muslim individuals, that we are not to live our private lives, our separate lives, for only individual and personal gain or results. We are to do this so that the whole ummah of Islam, the international community of Muslims, will be improved and come closer and closer to fulfilling its obligation to God and to Muhammad the Prophet. To be the model community, the nation, the model community, under God, a witness to all other communities for God. A community of excellence, a community of justice, a community of righteousness, obedience to the one Lord that has no slaves, but give up all slaves so that they can be free to serve God. This is a beautiful picture of human life that Islam wants for us on this earth. And we are conditioned for Islam. I agree with Minister Farrakhan, and I agree with the teachers of the Nation of Islam now, the present teachers, that we have been conditioned to be the best followers of Islam, to be that group that God says, and let that come out of you, meaning out of the Muslims, a group. Doing all that is good, refusing to do what is bad, witnesses for God, and not fearing the criticism of any criticizer. So I conclude with these words. It is not freedom from material restraints on us. It's freedom from all restraints on us in our effort to please our God. If any restraints are on us, holding us back from our life urge, which wants to satisfy our God, formed into the man and woman that God created us to be, if any restraints on it, that life force is working against it and is greater than any other. Don't you know the moral life is greater than immoral life? The proof of it is there's more moral life than immoral life. Yes, it is. Whether you know it or not, yes, it is. And people that want to produce, they are more powerful than people that just want to have pleasures and fun. The best pleasure can only be had by the producer. Yes, I pity people who just want to live for pleasure. When you live to produce, then you have established yourself to get the best pleasures, the fullest amount of pleasures. Yes. For if you really want to have the fullest amount of happiness, be a true Muslim and work for self and others. Work for the whole community life. Do that, and you will have the greatest amount of happiness. This is so rewarding, and to me, this work makes me so happy. I get no happiness equal to this from any other thing, or any other activities or efforts. No, this is my happiness. This is my happiness. This is my paradise. That's why God says, "Enter you, my worker." His servant means my worker. Pleased and pleasing. Mean you will please your God and you will please with yourself. So happiness comes because I have done my job that God assigned to me. I have obeyed him and worked as he wanted me to work. And my work has given me happiness in my soul and made myself pleasing to me. And God says, "Now, servant, you are also pleasing to me." Pleased and pleasing. So this urge in us, this power inside of us that begins with our own identity, true identity, needing to free itself from false charges against it, it manifests itself as it goes on, or as we have an opportunity to live in society. It manifests itself as a new social spirit, a new community spirit. And that's why we are so happy today. It's because we are in the new social spirit. We're in the new community spirit. It is the higher expression and a larger expression of that life urge that comes from the original self, the original Muslim. He says, give them this question. And what is my own self? He didn't say the answer is my own self is an African. He didn't give an answer, my own self is a black man. He said, and to give them this question, Elijah, what is my own self? He said, and give them the answer. My own self is a righteous Muslim. So I invite you, I urge you, from this day forward, to not to take the name for your species from science. Your species is not Homo sapien. That's a later development in your nature. You become Homo sapien once you come in contact with matter. Once you're freed from your mother's womb, you begin to grow to be a Homo sapien. But before history, before the deliverance from the womb, you were Muslim, having a life force in your body that God put there by his will to serve his will. And you'll never be at peace fully until you have that form again and be conscious of it. So I never think of myself as Homo sapien in my original life body. I think of myself as Muslim in my original life body. And that is why Muhammad the Prophet said, peace be upon him, every child is born Muslim. Don't have to be made a Muslim. Every child is born Muslim. And it is the environment that he's put in that makes him a Christian, a Jew, or something else. This is what our prophet has taught us. So be happy. Be happy. The day of deliverance is here. Freedom is here. Yes. We are free completely. Do you have enough time for me to read a little poem to you? Let me read a little poem to you. I call it Rescued. You didn't know I was a little amateur poet, did you? Yes, I am. I call it Rescued. When I woke in my morning, it was 7:23. Slowly I started to reach the ideas I strained through my night to see. I stood up trembling in my knees and saying, how wonderfully, how rejuvenating it is for the oppressed to rest their minds in thee. From the sins of men who consciously eat from that forbidden tree. Your words only, O God, made to rescue us from that tree. We would have been there still long after 5:25 p.m. we would have been out of the way still at that enslaving, grinding mill without a way to survive. Only your word could clear our name to break the chains. Only a spirit from thee could have us see how to set our whole life free. Thank you.